More time. Did that make it? Did that last comment make it?
No.
Okay, good. Because this is our 3-second intro. This is what they told us to do. We're doing it. Look, the Patriots have failed Drake Maye. I didn't say it. You didn't say it. Bobby didn't say it. Jerod Mayo said it. He said it immediately after getting smoked by 20 points. He said, we failed Drake Maye. Now, that may be true, but I have two questions about this. Who's we, and how bad did they fail him? Because we know they failed him, but how bad did they do? But more importantly, my biggest takeaway from that is, why the fuck is Jerod Mayo saying this? Why is he admitting and kowtowing to this 21-year-old rookie quarterback who hasn't done a goddamn thing? Does this guy have control over the room whatsoever at all? Is he the main culprit for failing Drake Maye? Or is there a whole nother dark web scheme going on behind him down in Foxborough that's failing them all? That's the question I have for you boys I'd like to talk to you about today. So we're going to do some Patriots talk. Certainly Drake Maye. Patriots go over to Jags country in London there. Take on what
Jolly-o London.
Maybe now is the actual worst team in the league in the Jacksonville Jaguars, not the Patriots.
Nope, they're still the Patriots still.
There's a 3-way wrestling match for that going on right now between the Panthers, Jags, and Patriots.
Just so everyone's paying attention, the Patriots do have the number 1 overall pick right now. So keep that in mind. So we'll be doing that. Sara Marshall, our favorite Sara Marshall, is going to join the show today from Musket Fire to talk a little Patriots, get her take on how things are shaking out with the Drake Maye experience. We'll pick up some scraps. We'll do some Pat scraps from last week and look forward to the Jags. So a lot of football, of course. We got a This or That with Chief Bob, who we haven't done in a long time. Ask them big brain questions there, this or that. And, of course, simplest minds of the week to round out the show. But let's do as we always do, start with some cold opening takes here. So I almost fucked that up.
Yeah, you did.
I did fuck that up. Let's just do some opening takes. Ray, you're on suspension for consistently stealing opening takes, so you have to go first.
How much longer? I want to know
how much longer. We need to know how much longer.
This is an undisclosed amount of time. It's indefinite suspension for stealing takes. Something's going to have to change within the order of the show, I think, for it to change. All
right, okay, Jerod Mayo, you got about as much control over this pod as he does of the Patriots.
Perfect.
Okay, watch this. Ray, go.
Thank you. What happened to Mr. Players Coach, Mr. Coach Vibes, a cool coach where he and all his players were best pals, best buds, all around, win some games, and have the time of our lives? Well, after starting 1-5, the cool guy is turning into the bad guy and is going to start benching players based on their performance of weeks past. Joke's on him, though, because everyone on the fucking Patriots sucks. So I don't know how he's going to be able to bench everyone. Unless Joey Sly can go out there and catch some balls from Drake Maye. This is going to blow up in his face very, very quickly.
Bobby, your opening take.
Robert Kraft was named one of the 25 contributors up for induction into the NFL Hall of Fame. And I am on board with these other Hall of Fame voters that just hate him for no reason right now. Kraft's on my shit list. I hope they drag it out for him. What has he done besides overseeing the team that drafted Tom Brady? That is his number one claim to fame right now. We are overseeing his rebuild, in which he has done everything he can to put his fingerprints on this team. And just like Ray said, all the players blow and the team sucks. So bad job.
That's unfair on Robert Kraft. We will talk about that. It's also unfair that you agreed with Ray. That's not allowed on the show.
He's stealing my take.
Read the fucking bylaws. We'll have to check the tape. See if
go ahead, try and suspend me. Bring it on.
That's unfair for Robert Kraft, though. He took this team out of the gutter with Bill Parcells. I'm going to stay football, but I'm going to move a little bit south to New York. Simply put, Aaron Rodgers is a douche. Thank God for the Jets. We have funny clips for Aaron Rodgers, and we're just going to rag on him on our NFL around the NFL segment. So there you go. This is Some Mind Sports Show, Friday Rewind, live Thursday, October 17th. Welcome to the show. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm gonna quay all these. I'm gonna fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
Hello.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, how's
How
it
are you?
going?
Good, are you?
It's going very well. With us is Sarah Marshall of Musket Fire. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for the invite again.
The only optimist in Patriots Nation left, I think, remaining.
Yes. Based on my tweets on a daily basis, I would say that's probably accurate.
Yeah, although a bunch of these dweebs come out of the woodwork when Drake Maye threw it 40 yards for a touchdown, something they haven't seen in 5 years. So we've got to deal with that whole segment of idiots.
Yes, that is that. Yeah, among other things, but
I
yeah.
don't include you in that group. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Let me get this out of the way. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. Obviously, subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends, tell your mothers. Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast. Do the same, please. All right, Sarah, a lot to get to. We haven't talked to you in a little bit. Obviously, a lot of Drake Maye stuff. We want to get your opinion on. Let's start out with the coach, though. I think these are two simultaneously running stories for the Patriots right now. One of them not getting maybe enough attention, and obviously Drake Maye get the other one. But can we just start with Jerod Mayo's opening take from the loss? Ray, can you play that clip?
Out of the huddle, and once again made some plays, and it's definitely encouraging. From a team-wide perspective, right now we let him down. It was his first game, and I feel like I let him down. I'm sure all the coaches feel like we let everyone down, and it's got to be better.
I don't know about you. We haven't talked about it, Bobby, Ray, and I. That comment aggravated me from the second I heard it, which is not uncommon. Most things do aggravate me, but that one just like, what do you mean you let him down? Like he's been here for a cup of coffee. He's a 21-year-old quarterback. He's not Jesus. Like, of course they've let us all down. Anyway, what's your take on that and your overall what's your biggest takeaway from the Drake Maye? Now we're nearly a week out. What's your biggest takeaway from the experience?
Well, that comment did not aggravate me in the same way. But I get what you're saying. I think sometimes I feel like somebody around Mayo is paying too much attention to what the internet is saying, because I think that the expectations were so high for Maye that because they didn't live up to that, even though I would say, yeah, they did. He looked pretty good against a solid defense for the most part. So I think that they did fine. They weren't expected to win against the Texans whatsoever. But it feels like that's what they're paying attention to. Like the expectations of the fans were so high that they're like, oh man, we let them down, or like Maye must feel that way or something. And it's like, I don't think so. But I do think, Maye looked good. I think that he looked like how we thought he was going to look. He dealt with the same stuff that we thought he was going to deal with the offensive line. Obviously navigated it a lot better than Jacoby Brissett. He made some really good throws, made some good plays, incorporated the receivers that we've been complaining about that hadn't been involved. Like, I think I think I said this on Monday. I was like, I know that we don't like moral victories in New England, but can we just accept this as a moral victory? Because we're moving towards the future. Like, we finally see what it could be, and it was one game. Like, it should only get better from here as they build around him, as he gets more comfortable, as they improve everything on the offense, hopefully.
Right.
So I thought it was good. Like, I'm not saying he's the next Tom Brady, but it's like, at least he's looking better than Mac Jones. Like, that's good.
True. This is true. Ray thinks he's going to completely fail and fall on his face like Mac Jones did. That's actually his official
insinuated.
opinion.
I didn't insinuate.
I didn't say that. I said pump the brakes. The way, like, everyone's getting high hopes on this kid already after just one game. Mac Jones was made the Pro Bowl after his first year. Look what happened to him. So let's just pump the brakes with Drake Maye.
He played
Yeah.
in the Pro Bowl. I don't know.
Yeah,
if he made the
I
Pro
mean, yeah, he was an alternate of an alternate. But
Okay,
I agree. Like, I think that people are getting ahead of themselves, and I think it is because people are acting like it's been so long. Like, we have been dying to have a quarterback when in reality it's been 4 years. Like, calm down. Like, there are franchises that have never had a quarterback, like, calm down. It's fine. We need to get back to that place. I get it, but let's pump the brakes, as you said. Like,
It's because
he
most
can
of
do
this
good, but
most of the fan base grew up with Tom Brady, so they don't understand the Drew Bledsoe years or the
Yes.
years before that where everyone sucked, and this was just how it was every year. Like, oh, maybe we'll make the playoffs this year, or oh, maybe we'll get over 500. Like, people just grew up with Tom Brady or became fans because of Tom Brady, so they don't understand the Patriot history of just suckbaggery.
Even Matt Castle earned $80 million from his
Goddamn right.
Yeah, I think all of that's true. In a vacuum, you asked me how Drake Maye was. Good. That is the answer. Well, look, he had 3 turnovers.
Yep.
I get it. He's a rookie. First one, you want to, chalk up to rookie nerve. Second one was tip drill, and then, sack, strip, home fall. Our assessment of Drake Maye was basically exactly what he thought he was going to be. A lot of athleticism, good arm, and some mistakes mixed in with some turnovers. So that's the next hurdle of challenges that you're going to have to overcome. But you're right. There's a light at the end of that tunnel when you have a guy that can play NFL quarterback. It gives you a reason to have hope, which is the most dangerous emotion as a human, never mind a sports fan. So yeah, it has to get better because everyone's cool with a 20-point blowout when it looks like maybe you have a decent quarterback. 3 weeks from now, if you keep getting blown out by 20 points and Drake Maye is still putting up 21, 24, that's going to get old quick too. So, there has to be improvement from everywhere, which leads me to my next question. The offense. Does Alex Van Pelt have a future here? What do you think of this guy?
Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, so I am somebody who doesn't like to jump to conclusions too early. Because with Alex Van Pelt, it's kind of a complicated situation because he came in, he had Jacoby Brissett to work with. His skill set is drastically different than Drake Maye. Just everything about them, So we saw the disaster that was Alex Van Pelt with Jacoby Brissett. We've only seen one game of him with Drake Maye, and it was at the start, it was really bad. Calling 2 runs and then calling a passing play on 3rd and 9 on the opening drive. It was like, cool. You just wanted to go 3 and out. Like, that's what okay, cool.
That was the plan. Yeah,
it was the most infuriating thing I've seen. Go ahead.
And that's how he keeps starting them too. Like I remember watching the Jets game, and we should have been relying heavily on Ramondre Stevenson because the Jets suck. Like their run defense sucks. They go with the run game on the first drive or 2, and then he completely abandons it. And so that's when I start to sit and be like, okay, what are we doing? Like, what are you doing, bro? This is your job. So like you should know this. The fans should not be yelling at the TV about stats and stuff because they know more about the opposing defense than you do. So that was when it kind of started to catch my eye. I think we need to see a little bit more of what he could do with Maye. Maybe that is a better combination. I mean, he worked well with Brissett and Cleveland, so you thought that was going to be okay. But if it keeps going the way that it's going, no. He needs to go. Stay on as a quarterback coach, I guess. That's what you've done. That's your history in the NFL. But play calling,
Well, we talked about this, and Bobby, I want your opinion because Bobby's got some good numbers and thoughts on AVP. But his offense is the West Coast offense from the 80s, and it's run, catch you in a play action, go over the top, and beat you for a big play, which is what they did in that game, right? That to a T, that's what we saw, that offense. And that's all good. That's great if it works, I guess. But, Bobby, do you have confidence that style of offense can work in today's NFL? And by that, I mean, lulling a team to sleep and then relying on, a handful of pot shots to get chunk plays throughout a game.
I don't think you can rely on just taking deep shots, but I do think that with that general I think that doing what Alex Van Pelt wants to do, they could be successful. So this is first off, throw out the Jacoby Brissett games. Don't judge Alex Van Pelt on that. Alex Van Pelt's job interview starts now and moving forward. They ran a totally different offense than what they did with Brissett. They were mostly in shotgun. They ran a lot of 3 wide receiver stuff. So everything else that's going to be moving forward it's going to be a totally new thing. What I think what they're doing now, right now, they're doing really basic stuff because it's still Drake Maye. They're gonna run simple routes, and then once he gets a little bit more comfortable, then they're going to get a little bit more complex, and we'll see if that's what they can do. But no, you can't just do run, play action, pass. You can't do that. You have to be able to layer and feather in the plays so that you can just catch teams off guard in not ways that aren't just, oh, we're going to do a play action. Now it's certain different plays have to look like the same play so that when they see you running what looks like a slant, it's actually a dig or something like that. So they're not getting onto your tendencies. Things have to look the same but be different.
Super fan Patrick says, "Shut up, Bob." But all solid points, which brings me to the next key point on the team and the offense. What are we, Sarah? What are we to think of this offensive line? A center off the street that's no one's ever heard of. I can't even remember his last name.
Brown.
Thank you,
Ben Brown.
Ben Brown
steals the job from Nick Leverett.
All right.
In half a week, Nick Leverett is then cut, so you still don't have a backup center.
Wally pipped him.
Range is somewhere back in the mix. However, pressure rate was down. I saw 33% from 48 to 49, wherever it was. You can put a lot of Drake Maye into that conversation. There's been talk that there has been subtle improvement from the line, which you can see a little bit. I mean, nice clean pocket for that touchdown pass at the end of the half against the Texans. So where are you there? Because I think everything we're talking about, Drake Maye, AVP, the offense obviously stems from protection. So what should we be thinking about the offensive line?
I'm trying to be a little more optimistic, on brand. But it is concerning that Ben Brown was signed and then like 3 days later he plays in a game and is the best offensive lineman on the team. Like that is crazy because he didn't allow a hit, a pressure, nothing. Like that is crazy to me. I mean, I guess that at least is promising because losing David Andrews was significant and I knew that it was going to be a disaster because of what we saw from the backup centers in preseason. I like that Cole Strange appears to be coming back maybe a little bit sooner than we initially believed. I don't know how much I love about switching him to center. I mean, if they need him, sure, but I think they need to set it up on the left side, and if he can do that, then that's better than the alternative. But I don't like the shifting. They're talking about moving Onwenu from tackle to guard and guard to tackle. It's like we need to stop doing that. We need to put him at guard because he's generally better at guard. They just need to figure out the edges. That's the problem. It's like they're doing too much shifting, and then that's, I think, creating more chaos. And then they're trying to fix the chaos that they're creating when it's like if you just stuck with a normal lineup or at least just tried to adjust the worst areas, then you would be in a better spot than just like shifting everything every week.
Yeah, they're trying to, and this stems back to Elliott Wolf and not giving themselves enough talent to work with moving into the season. So they're trying to piece it all together, which, I don't blame them for trying to make that work. But, and I don't remember who I read today said Mike Onwenu is a guard. He's not a tackle. He is a guard. He needs to play guard. So I don't hate Cole Strange going to center. He's undersized for a guard. He's too short for a tackle. He's supposed to have a good head on his shoulders. He's a first round pick.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
I just like reminding people of that as much as possible. And you don't have anybody else to play unless Ben Brown is apparently, the next David Andrews. The biggest gripe I have with this is going back to Alex Van Pelt and leaving these tackles on an island all game when they can't block.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 2 high-end, if not Pro Bowl tight ends or ex-Pro Bowl tight ends that know how to play the game. They're not the best blockers, but they know how to get to the job done. Put one on one side, chip the other side every single play. There's no way you should be. I don't even know what the hell was the right tackle. What's the right tackle's name?
Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Oh yeah, Demontre. Is it Demontre Jacobs?
I think it's DeMontre Jacobs. Yeah.
Okay.
Jacobs.
There's
and
multiple guys with the same last name. I get confused.
I do too. And then who's the new left tackle that came in off the street?
Zach Johnson.
Zach Johnson. That's right. Thank you. Those guys should never have single coverage on anybody in the NFL for the rest of the league, for the rest of the year. And the fact that we can see that on the TV copy, like time after time, that's a sin. Like that's a football sin from Alex.
That's a legitimate criticism that they clearly don't chip in the offense. They don't do that.
Well, and they were going with the extra. I mean, they were putting Caden Wallace out there before he got injured, so it's kind of odd. Again, it's like another thing they're abandoning.
Sure. Yeah, when they were going, that was a big part of the.
They ran out of guys. They can't. They just simply don't have enough offensive linemen anymore.
Yeah, they're all
They've
injured.
been running 2 tight end sets more than anything in that last game. And third down, surprisingly, they ran 2 tight end sets, maybe the most of all their formations. So I'd like to see them clean that up on the offensive line, because obviously the talent is not improving.
Well, maybe they'll use Hooper on the line because of his drop last week or whatever. Was it a drop? And did he have it wasn't him that had the interception around him, right? Okay, the fumble. Oh, yeah. They could use him on the line instead if they don't trust him, if they want to put him in the doghouse or something.
He's going to be benched. Yeah, he'll be benched. So
yeah.
There are no dogs houses. We'll get to the wake up call in just a second from Jerod Mayo, which I'm interested to see. Hold that thought, because I just want to touch on also the wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Now that there's an actual quarterback, in my opinion, we haven't been able to judge the Patriots wide receivers since Brady left. Really,
Mm-hmm.
Can we start putting expectations on these guys? Does the depth start to shake out? Mayo listed his top 3 wide receivers:
Mm-hmm.
Douglas, Bourne, and
Booty.
Jalen Polk left off of that, and probably his worst game as a professional the other day. KJ Osborne has been silenced. Bobby probably loves that. I don't know. Do you see a number 1 guy on this roster? Do you see these guys sticking around? Are they just fodder like we thought? Or do you see some talent, and can we finally judge it now that there's a quarterback here?
I think in a couple weeks, yeah. I mean, I think that we saw a lot of improvement in this past game, especially because, Demario Douglas was the leading receiver last year and saw virtually nothing with Jacoby Brissett. You knew that Kendrick Bourne, I'm kind of surprised, I guess, that Mayo would put him in the top 3 because he's not really been involved since he came back, and that was expected. So that kind of threw me off. Putting Booty in the top 3 is a little early to me too, because he really only had this one game. I liked the pick when they picked him anyway, so I would like for him to get up there, but I think everything right now is going to go through Douglas. That's how I view it. Until we're seeing, if we can see that Booty can be consistent every week, once we see Kendrick Bourne fully utilized, or like whether he's on a snap count restriction or not, I think eventually we can kind of judge it, but it's still too early. I just think it's still going to be Pop, though. He's going to be his go-to guy. He's going to be like Josh Downs for him.
Yeah, Pop is a NFL receiver. If they can create any type of slot chemistry from the days of old, Brady Edelman, Brady Welker, Brady Troy Brown, that whole thing, that's Pop. That's the type of player Pop Douglas is for sure. AVP doesn't do those routes, so long drag crossers, like
Well, and that's the thing is, like, I would like to think that Van Pelt was asked so many questions about working with May this past week, and it's like he seemed open to making adjustments based on what May likes, and May has alluded to that as well. So I'm kind of hoping that they'll do that, because it's like you kind of need to cater to what he likes and what his strengths are, and we know what his strengths are if you watch the tape from him at UNC. And Josh Downs, like I said, has been brought up specifically because he's even already compared Pop to him. So if they can get that going, then that would be great, especially because it looked like Pop was going to do absolutely nothing this year with Jacoby, and that is just a complete waste of talent. Right.
What about Polk? He said he's still got the best hands in the NFL or something stupid like that.
It's gone. He's done the like opposite of what you were expecting, because he had good hands in college and they were like, he can't separate. And then he gets into the NFL and it's like, he's one of the best separators, but he can't catch. So it's very weird. And
guys like that, like possession guys, good hand guys, not speedsters. You're not supposed to be diva out there bitching about refs and complaining about your playing time. And like, he's just
after interception, just sulking and not going after the guy, trying to tackle him and just, whatever kind of thing.
Well, in the response to what Mayo said was also a red, like, I don't know if it was a red flag on him, just a red flag in general. That's a whole other conversation that kind of ties into Alex Van Pelt, but we can save that for another day if you'd like. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I kind of agree with Mayo that it possibly is just a mental thing. Like, I mean, there's going to be changes with May under center instead of Brissett. So it's like, there's going to be an adjustment there, but him sulking and doing whatever, it's like, all right, bro, you're still a rookie. Like, there's gonna be growing pains that you're all gonna be going through. Like, you're gonna be utilized. It's just not right now, not yet. And also, you gotta catch the football to keep getting the football. So
9 catches on 24 targets, not what you want to see. Last question on this, Bobby. Are they a bona fide number 1 wide receiver away from a bona fide wide receiver room? Saying you bring a guy in, everyone slots down, and now you've got something, or is everyone else just, again, fodder? It's Douglas and everyone else is like question marks.
I think it's fair to say that if you bring in a number 1 receiver, that yes, then you could say that your receiving room with the 3 that we have, 3 to 4 that are already here, that receiving room's good for a few years. It just has to be a true number 1 that can shade all the coverage to their side so everybody else can work. I think that they're good enough. I think that they're good enough with a good quarterback to win games.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. How about a if everybody gets a wake up call, Ray, can they be good enough to win on Sunday? Can we hear from Jerod?
There will be changes for this game. And so my message to the coaches and the players, really, we want our most dependable players out there that we can really count on. If you're going to pre-snap, post-snap penalties, we can't do it.
On that,
so I guess to answer your question is the personnel part of it, like a wake-up call.
When you mentioned changes this week, just to clarify, does that mean in the starting lineup, or what are those changes?
Yeah, there definitely be changes in the starting lineup. We got to put the best guys out there to give us the best chance to win.
Surprise, surprise, this aggravated me. You don't tell somebody it's a wake-up call when you're sending a wake-up call. You just make it a wake-up call. You might have nailed it on the head, Sarah, when you said people are listening to the internet too much in that building, and they are filtering it down to Jerod Mayo, who week after week is defining himself as the cuck of the New England Patriots. Everybody is just dumping their bullshit on him, and I don't know how much power he has. We could estimate none at some level. And he just has to go out there and word salad himself through, whatever talking points have been put in front of him because of the reaction from, to your point, the internet or wherever else it's coming from. I think that's fairly obvious. Like, I don't, you're not stretching that at all. The way that he's contradicted himself and bounced back and forth throughout the season and had to walk back a bunch of things. I don't know if this is a Mayo thing, if this is an organization thing. I tend to feel like it's an organization. If Mayo had his druthers, like, he would go out there and tell you how it is, and that would be that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you can speak on that. But more importantly, do you feel like there's a wake up call coming? Another bad penalty day, 9 for 50 yards, defensive penalties. We saw kept drive moving, offensive killing penalties. It's been a problem. The penalties have been for the last couple of weeks. Do you think Mayo has it in him to make that wake-up call? Do you think it's actually going to happen? Do you think the team responds? Where do you stand on that?
It feels like a lot of what's going on. It feels like he's been set up to fail, because it feels like there's too many people in his ear. And I don't know if it's because we knew that Kraft wanted Mayo to succeed Belichick, but not for another 2 years at minimum. So obviously that was sped up. So not ideal in his eyes. So I don't know if they're kind of trying to take advantage of his inexperience. And so it's like these guys come in and they're like, oh, well, we've been coordinators and we've done things in the back office. Like we're using our experience and our expertise, and that trumps yours because we've been doing it and you haven't. And then also the power shift of now Belichick being gone. He's not the one controlling the roster, the contracts, all the coaching decisions. Now Kraft is probably meddling a bit. He even just talked about it on the Breakfast Club when he was talking about firing Belichick and that he gave him too much power. Really would not be surprised if it's just too many cooks in the kitchen and Mayo is the one that is looking like the bad guy because he's saying maybe partially what he thinks, but then what he's being fed. It's just a mess. And so I don't know how much of an actual change can come because I don't know if we're really seeing the real head coach, Jerod Mayo, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know what we're seeing, but there's something off. And whatever that is, we're noticing it. And we're guessing what it is. But something feels odd. This doesn't feel like a guy that multiple teams were trying, like, oh, we want to interview him for our head coaching position. Like, he doesn't scream that guy to me right now.
Yeah, you've got multiple fractions of that organization hedging their bets on a 2-15 win team this season. And that's where that's coming from. You got ownership, management, head coach, offensive head coach, and they're all hedging their bets on the season going down the drain. And they're all trying to play nice and talk together, and they all probably do want to succeed, and they have a plan and they're trying to commit it, but everybody's hedging their bets. And you're starting to see that, and it's just going to get worse throughout the season if they continue to lose. Your only hope, and Jerod's only hope, and the only reason that kid played last week is Drake Maye. So pray to God Drake Maye is extremely good, and all of this stuff will go away.
Yeah,
that's how much winning does for you. Everything will just settle down, and it'll be okay.
Yeah, because the scrutiny is coming from like a legitimate place, but obviously we get nitpicky because then you're looking for problems in everything that is being done and everything that's being said. And especially because of the breakup between Kraft and Belichick, it already seemed shady and people were trying to figure that out. And that goes all the way back to when Brady left and trying to decipher how that happened and who was responsible for that. And now it's like everything's under a microscope now. And it sucks for Mayo because he is like the biggest victim to it right now.
That's right. As a self-proclaimed history buff, the fall of any dynasty is never very pretty, and the people that come after it, take the brunt of it. So that's the time period we're in. Maybe Drake can drag us out of it. Look, we'll leave it on this. What are your parting thoughts for the London game? We didn't even talk about the defense, which
mess.
I think is about to get real exposed. If the Patriots offense can put up any points, teams are not going to sit back and run the ball the entire second half. They're about to get checked up, I think.
Well, and then you also are like, okay, Christian Barmore.
Yeah, the off-field
but what's going on?
Not a good look.
It's
not a good look.
And now everything's recorded and released, so it's like it's one thing if we heard about what happened. It's another thing when even TMZ releases the video. It's like, oh.
The Providence, Rhode Island Police Department did that as a fuck you to Christian Barmore. If he didn't send out those tweets afterwards that he did, they wouldn't have released the video. It was a direct response.
It's just
know what else that's a direct response of? If the team was 5-1,
that probably wouldn't have happened.
We wouldn't see those tapes.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's a little high school football action going on right there in Providence.
It makes you wonder if that'll impact him coming back at all, because that's been alluded to. I mean, it just is like, I just mean like if Mayo is going to try and be more stern.
He has to. You know what I think Mayo is recognizing? That you can't make men out of boys. It's not your job. Your job is to put guys in excellent positions to earn a bunch of money on the football field. And if they don't do that, sit them. And if they cry about it, shut them up or trade them or cut them. I think he's learning that very quickly on the job. That
where did someone do that before?
Well, yeah, except Belichick's 73, Jerod's 38. So
But they wanted to be as far apart from Bill Belichick as humanly possible, but yet it worked.
I get it. I think Jerod's he's understanding where that line is, and he's learning very quickly that
You can
line
do it
is
in a
not,
different way than Belichick did.
yeah,
Well, of course,
it's
because
not as
Belichick
close
went
to
six
that
rings.
to
He
the
can do whatever he
players and what they believe and what they want to do. Is you can't let these guys. They're 22-year-old bajillionaires, famous like you.
Well, because why is Barmore driving around, first of all, in a Jeep? Second of all, with the amount of money he has. Second of all, why is it like not registered and stuff? Like, come on, dude.
Quick shade there from Sarah. I love it.
She doesn't like Jeep
All right,
owners.
final thoughts. What do you think of the Jags game coming up? London,
I'm
9:30
excited.
a.m. Oh,
I'm
6:30 a.m. You're West Coast?
Yeah, lovely. I can't wait to be up bright and early.
Sunrise game.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, but I'm the more excited about this game. I mean, I was pretty excited about last game because of May, but I think that we have more to look forward to this week simply because the Jags are not supposed to be good. So I'm trying to remember watching the Jags this season and how terrible they were, and that's a team that they're going to get. So the Patriots should be able to thrive. That's what I want to see. I just want to. Yeah, that's all I want. If I have to be up that early to watch a game, then just give me what I want. I just want to see.
You might get a sunrise shootout.
That would, I mean, as long as it's the Patriots,
Which will be the first shootout from a Patriots standpoint, and couldn't tell you.
Well, I mean, I was
just in that game.
I was looking up the last time that they played the Jags, and I posted this on Twitter. I'm like, I totally forgot that the last time they played them was Mac's rookie season. He put up 50 on them.
That's right.
I'm like,
at the end of the season.
The Christian Wilkerson game is what everyone's talking about. I was like, how did I forget about that? But I'm like, I didn't remember Mac Jones putting up 50 points on anybody or anywhere near that. I'm like, that would be pretty.
That was one of those old school Patriots games where they scored 50 points 8 different ways.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Yeah, and people you've never heard of, like Christian Wilkerson. What happened? So I'm just hoping that we can see
offside kick touchdown.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can just see some more progress from the offense. Like, I don't care if it's against a defense that basically isn't there. I just want to see that they're competent and that they can do some things, take advantage of I'm saying a potential weak opponent because it's the Patriots. We don't know if they're weak opponents, the Patriots this year. I would just like to see that.
Listen to me. They have to win this game. If they do not win this game, it's the number 1 overall pick. It's a 1-win season.
And then we can just focus on the obsession with who that's going to be. We've already seen a shift. I don't know if you've seen that. Everybody was obsessed with Travis Hunter.
We're not doing that. We are doing the Leave Doug Peterson in Europe tour for the rest of the next 2 days.
Well,
win this game.
Talked about a
get
culture
that guy
change.
fired, and let's go.
The culture change would be firing him.
And
so,
Mac. Leave Mac too.
Yeah,
leave Mac. Leave Mac. We do need a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Well,
sure.
It would be kind of fun if they put Mac in instead of Trevor.
Oh, that would be nice. We would lose. That
The
would be
story-
that's the
Oh,
way
God.
that they think.
Mac would make the Pro Bowl just off that game alone.
Yeah. Oh, geez, Louise, not that.
Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. Give you the platform one more time. Musket Fire, of course, but tell us anywhere else we can find you. And anywhere else our listeners can find you, please.
Well, yeah, so musketfire.com for all your Patriots stuff. And then you can follow me on Twitter at smarshxo for wrestling content and Patriot stuff. And if you like professional wrestling, I have a YouTube channel. It's called No Nights Off. So if you're into that, look us up.
We got to get you and Ray to talk a little wrestling again. It's outside of it. Actually makes me angry listening to it, but it's fine. Mostly.
I'm already planning I have my trip booked for WrestleMania 41.
I can't do this. I can't.
Yeah. I'm going to Vegas. Okay. So I'm very excited. 6
I'm
months
very
away.
jealous. I'm very jealous. That's
I
on
went
the
to
bucket list.
I went
You
to
should
Mania
go,
this
right?
year too.
Expensive.
Oh,
Yeah.
another card?
Well, it's fun, so I'm excited.
That's
So I
awesome.
could talk about that all day. So I'll save you. I won't bore you or torture
You won't bore
you.
me.
I have sharp objects near me, so let's just stop. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next
Thanks,
time.
Sarah.
All right, bye guys.
Bye
Bye,
now.
Sarah.
And on that note, we're going to throw over the headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. The Houston Texans spoiled Drake Maye's first career NFL start, 41-21, in what many Patriots fans are saying was a fun loss. Drake had his first career touchdown and also led the team in rushing with 38 yards. Next up, a 9:30 a.m. showdown with the Jacksonville Jaguars. If it's a 9:30 game, what is the appropriate time to crack open your first beer? Checking in on the quest of the Bet Hole Tattoo after 5 games, the Bruins are 3-2 and travel to Utah to take on the Utah Hockey Club, such a stupid fucking name, Saturday night. AL update, the Yankees have a 5-3 lead at the bottom of the 9th over the Cleveland Guardians. If they win, they will have a 3-0 series lead, while the Dodgers take on the Mets right now. They have a 3-1 series lead, and that game is tied 1-1. The Celtics open up the 2024 NBA season Tuesday night, right where they host the New York Knicks and hoist banner 18. Karl Anthony Towns is new in town for the New York Knicks, and that will be on TNT with Charles Barkley, Shaq, and the guys on TNT. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you, Richard.
Oh, no outro? I was really set up for an outro. It was a nice intro, but no outro.
I'll work on that for next week.
Next week, there'll be an outro.
Next week, outro.
It's a nice intro. A little bit something different, a little heavier, a little rocking.
Yep.
I mean, your reading was pretty terrible.
At the end, it was terrible. I got a little flustered. I mixed up some
twice and didn't really need it either. The writing was probably worse than the reading, but that's fine. No big deal. Hey,
hey, look at this. Bill's watching. Hey, Bill.
Hey, the Queen.
Queen.
Oh, you lost your equipment.
Yeah, he lost his equipment. When you say his equipment, he means his dick.
Yeah, when he says this girl sucks, he means whatever whole army is performing.
I love Sarah. I like Sarah. Sarah,
Sarah's fantastic. Yeah, fuck off, Bill. You're an idiot.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, Bill's stupid.
The only positive voice in
Patriots land.
Well, minus again the Drake Maye thing has everybody
up in arms,
walking around with a tent in their pants, but that'll fade. That'll go away as soon as they keep losing.
I hope it doesn't. I hope it stays forever.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Speaking of staying forever, what's this silly little game you got here, Bobby Forrest?
That's Simple Minds Hangman. Care to play?
Sure.
All right. I'm thinking of a thing. It's a great thing.
Wang. WANG.
It's universally loved by all.
Your mother's ass. YOUR.
M.
No, you don't have to guess. You don't have to guess a word. You guess the thing. What is the thing? No letters.
Oh, this isn't Hangman. This is just guess what you're thinking.
It's just the name of the fucking game. Now guess a thing.
Thing universally loved by all?
Toilet paper.
No.
Beer.
No. Many have enjoyed its fleshy pleasures.
Rich's mother.
Close, but no, that's not what it is.
Asshole.
Alex Van Pelt's asshole. Your mother's asshole.
No. Drake Maye very likely may have twisted his knee by getting a little too low when he Jeff Bagwelled it.
Oh, shit. I don't even remember the joke I made. Ray's mother's ass.
Yep. Ding, ding. That's it. Congratulations. You've won Simple Minds Hangman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is true.
I knew that would be a good one.
Our original speculation on Drake Maye's knee injury was he got too low, Jeff Bagwell and
my mom.
Ray's mom.
His ass specifically.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. And
no problem.
That has not been confirmed or denied by the reporters on the ground. In
Irene? She won't. She said no. She's not talking about it.
Fair enough. All right. Pat Scraps, cook this a little bit quick here. Let's go through some news. As we just mentioned, Drake Maye had an MRI on his knee.
Excellent segue.
Yeah, thank you. The Patriots are not concerned about it, and neither am I, especially if it's a Jeff Bagwell situation. Just a little sore. He'll come back to
new position, man. It's a new position. He's trying new things out. So, yeah, he probably just whoop.
Christian Barmore spotted with police cam altercation, pulled over, bad part of Providence, I guess. Was on the phone with his mom. His mom was screaming to call Kraft, call your coach. We could pull up the video, but we won't. The greater point here is this is the second police altercation with this team in a month and a half. You've got the Baker third police altercation. Baker had the one at Logan, then obviously Julius Peppers, not Julius Peppers, Jabril Peppers, and now in Barmore, and then everything we've talked about with Sara in this last segment. Is Jerod Mayo actually going to send a message here Is he actually going to
Nope.
send a wake-up call for the kids or what?
Nope. He ain't gonna do shit.
I just feel like these things probably wouldn't happen if Belichick was still the coach. This type of I think players would have it in the back of their head that I better not. I can't fuck up.
I don't know. There was plenty of fuck-ups when Belichick was the coach. Ever heard of Aaron Hernandez? Speaking of
Who?
changing the narrative and the story, this is a little bit of a choose your own adventure because we're late. Do you guys want to do the Robert Kraft thing? You want to save it? We can save it. Let's save it.
Save
We don't
it.
have that. We don't have the time for that. Robert Kraft made the. Anybody listening has probably seen it, read it, or heard it. Went in the Breakfast Club, claimed to fire Belichick after the original report, not about 5-6 months ago, that there was a mutual parting of ways. Belichick is firing back at him, taking shots at the coaching. We've got as Ray puts it, we got a Mexican standoff going on between Belichick and Kraft in the media.
I got guns. You got guns.
Superfan Handsome Wayne says next week will be more police altercations or touchdowns.
Great question. That's a good over. Which one are you taking? What police altercations?
I'm going to go touchdowns there, but if Brissett was playing, that would be
that'd be a push.
That would be a good bet.
Next on the news, you've got Tom Brady, owner of the Raiders. And I heard he wants Belichick as the coach. That was Kurt Minahan, I think, that put that out.
That's called clickbait.
I'll take that. I'll take the clickbait. A lot of people are making a big fuss over Brady being an announcer, and then there's a whole list of shit that he can and can't say now as an owner of the NFL. I didn't pay attention to Brady as an announcer to begin with, so I don't give a shit now. He's an owner. My biggest thing, and I don't want to spend too much time on this. This is another missed opportunity by Robert Kraft. Give that guy 1%, 0.4% of your fucking organization so he can be the figurehead of the Patriots forever.
Catch 22 though. Catch 22. Whoa.
You treat him like a son. Give him part of your empire.
Catch 22 though, because if you're a young quarterback like Drake Maye and you know that now Brady is part owner, wouldn't that make you like shit in your jockstrap and be like, oh fuck?
These kids, they don't know history.
May's an idiot. He thinks Rodgers is the GOAT.
He's an absolute fossil. Speaking of Rodgers, thank you,
Great
Bobby.
segue,
Beautiful
Bobby.
segue. We've got some trades in the
Super
AFC East. Amari Cooper goes to the Bills for a 3rd and a 7th, and Devontae Adams traded to the Jets for a conditional 3rd. The Jets taking on all of his salary directly after Aaron Rodgers throws a game-ending interception on Thursday Night Football. Got a series of clips here for you. This first one is the epitome of Aaron Rodgers after he threw the interception. He threw the interception to lose that game on Thursday night.
Is 2 guys vertical, 1 guy down the seam, 1 guy on the red line. Allen's down the seam, Mike's down the red line. So I'm looking at Allen. He puts his hand up, 3 guys go with him. So I'm throwing a no look to the red line. And when I just peek my eyes back there, he's running an inbreaker. So it's got to be down the red line. I was throwing it to the red line, but when I got to about here, I realized he was running an inbreaker. So I had to kind of adjust it a little bit.
Douchebag.
Is he not the LeBron James of the NBA?
He's the Kyrie Irving.
Got to be at the red line.
Got to be at the red line.
He's the Kyrie Irving combined LeBron James of without the championships. LeBron James has 4 of them. He's got 1.
Good point.
He is just a douchebag. And I get it. Queen, if you're watching, he ran the wrong route. Fine. You don't just blast him in your post-game press conference and keep talking about red line, gonna hit you with the red line. No, just swallow it, you douchebag. Your $100 million Egypt fucking visiting minicamp bootlicking douchebag. Eat it. He's such a fucking asshole. And then I don't know how many days later. I'm gonna say not 1 day later. Here's what we get in the Pat McAfee show. Look at the
Okay, so as soon as you hear the new, what's that? Well.
Here he is.
Hey, good to see you, Tay. Good to see you, man. Congrats.
What's up, fellas? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So bad.
You see the smirk on that douchebag's face?
Yeah. Well, you'd have a smirk too if you got your way and you live in New York now.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd probably be the same guy. But like,
probably
100%, you'd be the same guy.
Oh my god, you'd be insufferable.
Just snorting fucking drugs.
Any of us would be. Could you imagine if any of us had that sort of talent and money?
Oh god, I would need a retreat to find myself for sure. or a dark room to hang upside down and go to sleep. I don't know. Just the contrived nature of that whole thing. The guy is such a douchebag, and the best part is it's never going to work. Just lastly, this clip made me laugh.
Everything's falling apart and I can't do anything about it. It's not your fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. You have failed and you will pay. What? Pack light, boys. The party's over.
Great movie.
Great movie.
I knew Ray. That one's for you, Ray.
Have you ever heard that Heavyweights and Dodgeball are the prequel sequel kind of thing? Yeah.
Same character. Yeah.
Same character.
I went down a rabbit hole of that. It's a convenient coincidence that the character's similar, but
bullshit.
It wasn't written like that.
Yeah,
Heavyweights.
That's the only character Ben Stiller can play.
Oh, fuck off! Come on.
Ooh,
Ben's got game.
Ben Stiller has game.
Tropic Thunder, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to a couple things here. As we put it, quick hits on Drake Maye and the Maye offense. Bobby, I'm gonna throw over to you and your main points here. Just some actual football talk to round out this Patriot Scrap segment. So please, if you would.
Yeah, taking a look at it, what I thought was possibly the most promising thing wasn't just his physical tools running around. It's actually, if you watch him replay the game, most of his mistakes were just physical, but he made the right choices to do with the football. He goes through, he looks at his reads, and he is moving through, and he didn't put the ball in harm's way when he was making his decisions. He made his bad throw where it was way over. He fumbled, but he didn't actually make bad reads.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Promising. The only feedback on that is one of his biggest critiques coming out of school was his physical inability to be accurate because of his footwork, and
specifically throw high.
The first ball he threw that game was like, I don't know, 30 yards out of bounds. And then the second big ball he threw was an interception. Yeah. So you can blame that on rookie mistakes, but Pop Douglas had a ball that he caught that was behind him. Accuracy issues are an issue, and I would anticipate will be an issue for at least the rest of the season. And hopefully they can clean it up in the offseason and he can get better at it. But accuracy, as Belichick once said, is something that you can't necessarily teach.
Yeah.
That's a
but also when you don't have a line,
pinpoint accurate quarterback, but at least he does show decisiveness. He gets that ball out.
True.
He is willing to go 3-step out.
Right.
What I was saying is he doesn't have a fucking line to cover for him. So once he did have that clean pocket, he did have that 40-yard bomb down the field for the touchdown. I mean, obviously next year, hopefully it progresses. They actually protect him. It gets better and he has a deeper pocket. He can have more time to throw. But like Bobby's saying, he had 1, 2, 3 and it's out. Like he likes that quick pass. He doesn't like to sit in the pocket too long.
True. And, say what you want about the line. We get it. It sucks. But 33% pressure rate, as you mentioned with Sara, it's about 10% better, maybe more than it was with Brissett.
33% is close to league average.
And look, Brissett had a quagmire of statistics there. He had 50% pressure rate, but the longest time to throw, which you correlate that to throw the fucking ball, Jacoby. Mm-hmm. That's what that comes down to. And Drake Maye went in there and did it. So those quarterback and offensive line are symbiotic, right? That pressure and sack rate, sacks is a quarterback stat as much as it's an offensive line stat. And, we'll continue to see Drake Maye get the shit kicked out of him because he's a rookie and the line blows, but it should be an improvement from what we saw from Brissett for sure. You're going to say here, Pats ran 8 RPOs. Maye was only under center for 12 plays throughout the game. Totally different from Brissett, of course. No more heavy sets, much more 3 wide receiver sets. Kayshon Boutte now being featured, leading wide receiver, 55 plays, 83% of the snaps. Polk and Douglas were not far behind that. Be interesting to see where Polk lands this next game after Mayo's.
He sits a series. That's all it's going to be. It's going to sit a series. That's it.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. We let Sara talk about it. What do you think the game day repercussions of Maye's wake-up call are actually going to look like for these guys committing penalties and not?
There's too many of them that are doing it. So how can you penalize all these guys? You can't sit them all. There has to be some sort of, well, you know, we have to have Polk out there because we need a wide receiver. We need Keon White out there. Yeah, he's doing his own thing, but yet he is going out there making tackles. So what are you going to do? Sit him? I mean, your defensive front is already atrocious as is. You can't just sit these guys because you want to make a name. You have to pick someone.
Bill would.
Yeah,
Bill would
I think you
sit
might
him
see
and bring a
changes
guy
on
off the
defense.
street.
I don't think you'll see it on offense. I think you might see it on defense.
They've got enough wide receivers that they could sit. You could drop Polk for a half.
Yeah.
You could totally reduce his snap counts. I think one thing that you might see is that I think it's Jaquan or Laquan Roy. I think they might up his snap count significantly. I think he might take over for like a Farms or an Aquale, just because, especially on the defensive line, they're getting
the sack or the tackle for a loss. Yeah.
Exactly. He's had sacks 2 games in a row, and he does just kind of pop, and he does look big. And defensive line is where they're getting run through. So I think I think you'll see something there too. And I mean, we didn't see a lot of Uche the other day. So,
and the funny thing is too, before you go, Rich, he did say that he's going to, do something. He has to do something now. You can't be all talk and then come Jacksonville.
He said he was going to bench Ramondre Stevenson, and he benched him for a series, and then he came out and scored a 36.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He said that there's changes to come, and people are going to be held accountable.
Here's where we shit on May. Let's put this on. I don't mind May, mostly because I don't know exactly what he is yet, and I
talking Mayo, right? Mayo.
Sorry, yeah, Mayo. I like May. I like May. Let's also make that clear. I like May.
Okay.
I like him. I like him as a player. I like what he has to say. I like his demeanor. I think he's a leader. I think he's got a little bit of the it.
Got that southern twang.
We are in very early stages. Like, that type of guy can very quickly turn into, oh, here's another fucking interception from May. Very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I like him, but let's just make that clear. I also like Mayo. I do. I think that he is being, as we said with Sara, tugged from every different. If you gave him his druthers, just be the CEO and push things forward, I think he'd probably be doing better, honestly, than they are right now. And you would have a more concise message than what you're getting. Whether he can coach, I don't know. The leader of men thing, I don't know. So when he talks about making changes to the starting lineup, I think he will. And I think in his heart, he believes that like a series or two is enough benching and get these guys back out there and hope and they get the picture. And as I said to Sara, he's learning on the job that that's probably not the case. And these guys are not your friends, and you have to treat them a little bit harder. And hopefully by the end of the season, he will learn that and understand that, because this guy's here for 2 or 3 more years. So I'm pleading myself to like him, basically.
You're 1-5. You can't make an example and put people on the starting lineup and bench them for a series or two. You're about to be, if you lose to the Jags, you will be the worst team in the NFL. You will have the #1 overall pick. You can't be just
Panthers, maybe.
If they lose to the Jags, they are
the worst team. Yeah.
Okay, that was fun. That's depressingly fun. God, when the Celtics
start Tuesday, baby. Let's go.
Thank Jesus Christ. Here's a fucking guarantee.
That's a great game against the Knicks. I'm excited for that game.
We will start next Thursday talking
positivity, baby. Positivity.
Next Thursday's show, we will start talking about the Celtics. That's where the show will begin. I don't care what happens Tuesday. That's what we're talking about, because this is depressing. Unless the Patriots can blow doors, maybe we'll get there. Quick break.
Are we doing
quick break?
Here we are, back to the show. The number 2 least favorite group of immigrants to Hans Kemp.
Native Americans.
Whoa! Whoa! He set us up all nice guys. Sri Lankan, not going to be that big of a deal. Small island. Now you go straight to the native people of our very own land.
Bold.
Why?
Bold.
What is it about the Native Americans that you don't like?
They're poor and dirty.
Happy Columbus Day. Yeah, happy Columbus Day, Bobby.
Yep. Thank you, Bobby. This is this or that with Chief Bobby, please.
Oh, excellent. All right, gentlemen. Would you rather untangle wires behind the TV or organize your kid's sock drawer by color?
God, this one sucks.
There is nothing worse to me than having to get behind there and untangle that shit.
I don't.
There's nothing worse than finding fucking pairs of socks either.
I hate socks. I don't do my socks. I just throw my socks into a bucket and then put them together as I go to wear them. I never put them together with laundry.
Really?
The wires blows, but I can get myself into a mindset of like Zen with the wire thing, and then at the end I'll make
Really?
it nice and neat. Yeah.
There is no way I would choose the wires over the sock drawer. I'll organize the shit out of that kid's sock drawer.
I hate sock. I hate organizing.
I do the
socks.
wires. The wires
Give me the
are easy.
wires.
Give me the wires.
Really? You guys are crazy. All right. Here's a bit of another conundrum for you. Traverse a never before explored and dangerous underground cave, or traverse your dog's ass with your dong.
I mean, if it wasn't for the society, looking down on me,
The societal norm of you ramming your dog.
I would just bang.
That's
the
what
dog.
holds you back.
What country is this cave in?
Oh, this is can't go racist, Ray.
I'm not going racist. I'm asking a serious
It's
question.
a Mexican cave.
Oh,
They
You
got
gotta go.
spooky. They got
You
some
have to
fucking
say
Asian
yes. You
Mayans
have
and shit.
It's a Mexican cave. You'd have to go to Mexico. Or fuck your
Yeah.
dog.
I guess I'm fucking my dog.
I'm gonna go cave because I don't want to fuck. I don't want to admit to fucking a dog, but I don't like the cave idea. It's
Well,
gonna scare me.
At least
You'll
my
die,
dog's
I
a girl,
won't.
so I'm not gay, so I'll fuck my dog.
That boy.
Fine. See you in the cave.
Wear a big puffy winter jacket or the old school starter.
Give me that starter jacket. I think they're making a comeback with those too.
You can buy those. They do make them still. You could buy them. They're expensive as shit.
Retro.
This puffy jacket it's a good one. It's like a puffy down jacket, like a nice.
Yeah,
one.
it's the good what is it? Canadian goose feather, big puffy one.
Patagonia.
Yeah.
Give me the nice winter jacket.
Loser.
Give me the pullover. I have a thing about jackets. I don't like the zipping. I want to pull it
You've
over.
said that before. You're a freak.
I don't. I hate. I hate the zipping of a
fucking-
jacket. I want to wear it like it's a shirt. I don't want a jacket.
No.
Jackets are for losers. Give me the pullover.
I like a jacket.
All right.
Yes,
Rake
listen.
leaves off your whole yard or shovel snow off your whole driveway.
Wait, leaves are raked? I thought we don't
I
know where
blow.
leaves.
I do what your mother does. I blow them.
Hey.
That's the point of the question, is to make it a more difficult thing than you would do normally and put you in a conundrum of having to choose.
Oh, then I'd shovel my driveway.
Oh no, leaves. Leaves.
I fucking
It's
hate
nice
leaves.
out. You get some extras. Like shoveling sucks. Are you nuts? Leaves.
Yeah, shoveling sucks, but it's a defined amount. Raking of leaves takes forever to get the leaves all the way in one area. They
I don't
blow
mind the rake. I like the
Next
rake.
day you rake it, then you break it.
You
the
like
next day
to
it's all
rake?
there. Yeah,
I don't mind the rake. Yeah.
You scared of a little heavy snow, you big baby? You gonna blow your back
I
out?
get in the raking mindset, so it's an activity. I don't mind the rake.
Well, you can rake and untangle all the wires.
That's fine. That's fine with me, and won't fuck a dog. So everything's looking up for me.
You didn't say that you wouldn't actually. You said specifically,
I said,
if it
yeah,
wasn't for
that's
the
right.
societal norms against,
which
it,
is
you
also
would.
the answer everybody would give, because why not?
Why not? Hey, why not? Hey, I fuck my dog. Why not?
All's a whole.
Well, it was there.
Yeah.
Spaghettios or beefaroni?
Spaghettios.
Oh, it's beefaroni's the answer.
I think it's beefaroni. I don't have a ton of experience with either one, so
Oh God, I forgot.
I think SpaghettiOs sucks.
Well, they're both terrible choices,
They're very terrible choices.
but beefaroni's the answer.
I'm gonna go beefaroni.
It's more. There's more to it. It's more of a meal.
That's what I call
SpaghettiOs
raised
is-
mother's areolas. Beefaronis.
Okay, moving on.
Thank
Fight an army of orcs for glory and kingdom, or stay at home and experiment with Joe Burrow.
Orcs.
Yeah,
Experiment with Joey B, baby.
If Burrow was top 5, I'd be all over him. But top 6, no way.
yeah, exactly. No, it's not worth it. At least because then you were the top 5. I will fight for glory and kingdom.
Totally.
Soup in a bread bowl or bread in a soup bowl.
Fatty?
Soup in a bread bowl.
Yeah, bread bowl, of course. Well, every time, like forever,
Just forever. Yeah, ever.
bread bowl.
Yeah, this question was dumb. I go the same.
That was a
Yeah,
dumb
there's
question.
no way you turn down bread over like plastic or whatever.
I guess it would be like a frozen soup. I'm not really understanding how it would work, but It sounded good when I wrote it.
Yeah.
Being a love triangle with the neighbor's pets or a hate triangle with the neighbors?
Man, what were you doing when you wrote these? Just
Were you just looking at your
I
dog?
was speaking of being in a Zen mode. I came up with all
Bestiality.
10 of these in like 5 minutes. I just pounded them out. I was just
I
like, ranking them.
assume this is how you come up with these questions every
What was
single
it
time is within one sitting of your mind. Just
What was the question?
Would you rather be in a love triangle with your neighbor's pets or a hate triangle with your neighbors?
hate triangle? Well,
Yeah.
again, society.
Again.
Like outside of the norms, like this is just ancient Greece.
I can
Yeah.
only admit
Give
to
me the
fucking a
pet.
dog once. I'm not fucking another dog.
I have a mild beef going on with a neighbor already, so
Ooh.
whatever.
Is it your mother that lives upstairs?
No.
No, she's taking my beef.
Ah,
God damn it. Sunny D or Capri Sun?
Capri Sun.
Capri Suns.
Sunny D's acid.
Sunny D is pretty gross. I drank a fair amount of it, but the Capri Sun.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
that's a win there.
Last question. Your boss is clearly much dumber than you, or the people that work for you are clearly superior to you?
My boss is dumber.
Yeah, boss is dumber.
Easily.
It would be difficult for my ego to accept anything other than that. But here's the argument for the other. If the people that work below you are much better, you really don't have to do anything other than make sure they don't take your job.
Yeah, but the boss being dumb, like you can just kind of.
But an irrational dumb boss could fuck you over at any point because they are so dumb.
No, they wouldn't fuck you over because they're too
You
dumb.
didn't say irrational. You just said dumb. Also,
Dumb people do dumb things.
No, it's dumb boss.
All right, you guys talk me into it. I want the subordinates that are superior to me, and they will do what at my bidding.
Fine. You're gonna live your life looking over your shoulder. Your entire career will be looking over your shoulder. The next guy to take your job.
Possible. Very possible.
I don't like that.
Oh, nice view, Ray.
Nope.
That was good. I like this or that. It's been a while. Thank you. We're right back with Syphilis Minds of the Week.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Can't wait for them to edit this fucking video and see all this stupid shit.
It's not going to be this one, so you have to wait.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Not that you would pay attention to anything that we have going on via our producing partners. So why would you know?
I know.
So you just said that out of stupidity, or?
Oh, I forgot that I saw the thing that they're not.
You forgot. Oh, okay. So this was a.
They're gonna do the clips though. They're gonna do the shorts for us. They have to
Like I
watch
said,
this.
You want to work for that? That's what you want to work for? Okay.
No, well.
See?
Wait, no, you're saying he's my boss. He's not.
I'm saying he's stupid, and that's what you would be working for.
But he'd have to be my boss, and there's no way in the hell that would happen. I'd kill myself first.
The point of the question was something that dumb is what you would be working for.
It's this or that.
If my boss was as dumb as Ray, then yeah, I switch my vote. I will take the superior underlings.
Yeah,
that would make
it's
my
actually
life
it's
a
way
living
better.
hell.
Yeah, excellent.
You've convinced me. Just give me the real life example next time.
I apologize.
Okay. Speaking of dumb and stupid, Nick Sirianni has lost his mind.
On the Philadelphia sideline, 2 road games coming up at the Giants, at the Bengals, while the
Okay. That's not a great clip because you can't hear what he's saying, but and anyone's listening on the podcast and didn't see this in the NFL, Nick Sirianni, head coach of the Eagles, got a trash bag win in an underachieving season and went and talked shit to the fans, his own fans, the Philadelphia Eagle fans, and he looked like a douchebag doing it, flailing his arms like, what do you got to say now? After he shaved his head as a middle-aged man, unless you're going bald or have cancer, you don't shave your head unless you've completely lost your fucking mind. There's no way in hell There's right. Well, you lost your gallbladder. It's close enough. Ray shaved his head, ladies and gentlemen. But again, this is a Simple Mind Sports Show. We just assume that head coaches of the NFL are not at our level of simplicity, but
No, they're not.
yes, that's a bad assumption. You know what happens when you assume.
Whoops.
Whoops. Bill Belichick, welcome to Philadelphia. Lastly here, because you assholes didn't send me anything, we've got a bag full of drugs. Police discover drugs in a bag labeled definitely not a bag full of drugs, quote. As you see the picture hand, that's the actual bag that the drugs were in. The stash was discovered in Portland, Oregon, when officers stopped a driver and passenger inside an allegedly stolen car. Pictured along the items recovered from the vehicle was a small brown makeup bag with the words definitely not a bag full of drugs written on the front. Despite the claim on the vanity case, more than 10 grams of fentanyl and meth were reportedly found inside the bag that again said definitely not a bag full of drugs. Not mentioned here is a revolver, a gun of some kind, and Bill would know. Bill, you still watching? What kind of gun is that?
No, Bill was in Oregon, so obviously he can't comment on this.
No, yeah, he's lost all of his equipment. 38 revolver or some kind of thing.
He was in Oregon over the weekend.
Oregon. I think it's funny when people say Oregon.
Oregon?
Oh, there's a pack of cash and a couple scales, some baggies.
It's like a drug dealer starter kit.
It is like a drug. It's like they could put this on Amazon. They can sell this on Amazon.
You really could.
Yeah.
Not a bag full of drugs. Wouldn't you know it?
It was a bag full of drugs.
I'd love to meet the cops that cracked that fucking case.
Hold on. Oh, no. It's a 38 special, according to Patrick.
Ray's mother's a 38 special.
Hi-oh! You met your quota, you asshole.
This has been the Simple Mind Sports Show, Friday Rewind, Thursday, October 17th. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Happy birthday, Finley. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Finley.
Good of you.